The mouth-watering smell of greasy burgers and fries fills the air on a sunny Friday afternoon. Cars roll in and the lot fills up, car hops buzzing from vehicle to vehicle, taking orders and delivering some tasty food.
It's not a store-bought patty or anything, it's an actual hand-pressed patty and it's tasty. Really good.
Like a flashback to the 1950s, what's old is new again at this drive-in restaurant. Pleasant memories for some, a new experience for others.
I get a lot of comments about, I remember when, you know, and then I also get a lot of young people who, what's a drive-in? That's where they show movies, right? No, it's a drive-in restaurant.
Ketchup in one hand, burger in the other?
Yeah.
You're doing okay.
It's kind of a bit of a juggle though.
The drive-in at Paul's Motor Inn has only been up and running for a couple of months now, but already it's got manager Michael King busy taking calls and answering questions.
It's been awesome. People are loving it. People are talking about it. I can't go anywhere where people don't ask me about it.
The drive-in at the corner of Chatham and Douglas has traditional drive-in fare. Burgers, sandwiches, fish and chips, a kids menu, and of course, floats and shakes. And it can all sit on these window trays ready to eat. They're not exactly the long trays that go through from window to window, but it's all King says he could find.
Finally found window trays, the ones that just hang on the window, in a place called Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Somewhere in the middle of the U.S.
The original Paul's Motor Inn opened in 1953, but it closed in 1972, around about the time the hotel opened. Today, 40 years later, Paul's Motor Inn is once again serving up burgers and fries, but this time with a side of nostalgia.
We used to do this when we were kids. Yeah, White Spot used to be a big draw in Vancouver.
I like the nostalgia. I remember going to drive-ins with my parents, you know, and the old A&W and things like that. So it's kind of neat to try it here. I'd never been to Paul's when it was a drive-in originally. That was kind of before my time, but it's kind of nice to try it again.
A lot of people, you know, have been to drive-thrus before and they're coming back and they're all nostalgic, so they like it.
And for the car hops, it's also meant a unique opportunity for a summer job.
This has definitely been one of my favorite summer jobs. Our first weekend was so successful that we actually had to close because we ran out of food.
The drive-in is somewhat of an experiment, bringing it back for this year only to mark the 60th anniversary of the diner and the 40th anniversary of the hotel.
I had one woman call and leave a message last week that she had brought her husband in for his birthday and her kids and her grandkids. She was explaining it. She said that, you know, one of the car hops was so kind and so good, and we really enjoyed the food. And then I hear her crying, and she's talking about, you know, that we had a really good time and it took us back to good times in our past.
The drive-in is open on weekends until September, and if the weather stays nice, this is going to be one of the hot spots throughout the summer. In Victoria, I'm Nikki Ewanyshyn for The Daily.